Alright. Been a while since I've uploaded something, so I figured it's Wednesday. Let's make a small video real quick before the day is over and just upload it. Why not? This is something for Log Horizon TRPG. It's custom content, but not so custom. Um, Basically, I really like World of Warcraft, so I figured why not smush one of my favorite D&D MMORPG like games with an actual MMORPG. So what I did was I basically looked up the mechanics for this classic boss fight from Naxxramas, and I went ahead and I threw it on Roll20 with some skills that I thought were fine for like a rank 20 character raid encounter. Um, Primarily for about 10 people. Uh, should be should be good for about a 10-man party um, that are all rank 20. So this is the first fight most people encounter when they go into like Naxxramas, which is a Nubricon. So when you go in, you see his two crypt guards. Anubricon himself has 3,000 HP. He also has, let me go here, raid boss. This is full art right here. Uh, he should have 4 fate points, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Boop. Easy. So he's got 3,000 HP, 4 fate points. These are his stats. His tag should be raid boss, nature, and he's got a hate multiplier of 4. His initiative bonus is 16. His speed is only 2. And his crypt guards, he starts with 2 of them. His crypt guards only have 300 HP, no fate points, speed 2, initiative bonus of 12. They mirror the hate bonus of their boss, which is times 4, so hate multi times 4. They also share tags with the boss too. Let's see, and then the last enemies that appear in the fight are these corpse scarabs. These only have 60 HP. They are mob tagged. They don't have hate multipliers, and they've only got one little attack. And the corpse scarabs and the crypt guards both have 20 defense of both types. So what usually ends up happening here, actually I should just go over the fight from a noob's perspective here. So a Nubricon has like 5 abilities here. And I haven't decided like a loot table or anything, but probably just give them something based off of Naxxramas, skeleton-y, undead themed. But honestly, all I really focused on was the encounter itself. Excuse me. The main ability it's using here is Savage Strike, which is a major timing. It's ranged close, only targets one person. Has an accuracy of 2d6 plus 7, and the damage it does is 200 plus 2d6 physical. It doesn't really do anything else, except I guess you can consider if it hits the hate multiplier times 4. I didn't really feel like there needed to be anything else for that, honestly. The main thing that's going to suck here for anybody in the group is Impale. There's a limit on it, once per every other round, so this is a little bit annoying for whoever's running this to keep track of, but definitely important to keep track of that. So it's target single, minor timing, and it has a range of 20 squares. So basically it can target anybody within the zone, right? But only one person. Let's see here. In reality, it's more like target line, but the way it works is it's going to target a single person, and then there will be a line of damage going to it. So it's a 1d10 check, right? There's not really a chance to dodge it. It's just going to pick a person and then go, right? So it's guaranteed damage the raid's going to take. And 1 through 10 is basically what you do at the beginning of the fight is you assign everybody a number, right? And whatever number it rolls is who it targets, right? So the way I like to do this is, let me just throw, I'll put mom out here. So mom's like out here, right? And then let's just put Nestle. Ness is like in the way, right? So if a noob rolls Impale, right? And look at that, we got a 1. So that means mom's gonna get hit, right? So from the center of a noob, right? It's gonna target mom. Anybody within that line of like 1 to 2 squares, pretty much, is going to get hit with Impale, which at the beginning is only 97 physical. So the 97 physical is quite a bit over the defense here of a normal rank 20 with some enchanted armor and stuff. And then on top of that, they're going to take an additional 10% damage based on the maximum health of the player. So I have the players calculate that for themselves, because obviously if this hits like 10 people, you're, as a DM, you don't want to calculate all 10 people, right? You want to keep the fight moving, so I don't really mess around with calculating that. And basically that should bring them down by a lot of health, like hopefully like really low, and make the healers freak out and have to do something. And also it forces the players to have to spread out, right? So if they're spread out, then if this hits right here, it's not going to hit, you know, anybody else. So force the players to spread out as much as possible whenever he's doing this. So that's on a minor timing. This next thing he does is a Locust Swarm, right? So basically this doesn't do any damage directly, but it does apply a dot, basically, like decay. And so while this is happening, his speed goes down to 1, right? So his speed is currently 2 squares. It reduces his speed by 1. And the best way I like to show this to my players is I like to go into this little square, this area right here, and just type in a 1. Anything within this circle, basically, is going to take the dot, right? So usually the tank, whoever's tanking him, is going to definitely take 1 stack, maybe more. And the stack starts at 26, and then it builds on top of that. So basically at first it's going to be like 26 damage, then it's going to be 52, and then it's just going to go up and up and up, and it's a decay, so the decay is going to go like through their defenses and stuff like that. So if you think you can tank it, do that, go for it. Hopefully I didn't make it a non-significant amount, because the whole point is to mirror the Naxxramas fight, in which the tank has to run sort of around the edges here, so that way the party who's spread out doesn't get this green shit all over them. Also, when he casts this ability, which is on every cleanup except for the first of the round, and that's that way the tank can get him in position away from everybody. When he casts it, another Crypt Guard will spawn. So you're going to have to constantly be dealing with the Crypt Guards throughout the entire fight. Let's see. So usually that ends. Let's see. Usually that will end if he gets to like the other side. And I don't really have it really written out here, like the ending of it, but I'll type it in here anyway. And you guys, if you're running something like this and just taking the idea, you could just say like after you know, after the round is over, then the green shit will go away, basically. Because kind of what I wanted to really mirror that Nax fight. So it's like you take it here, you tank it there for a bit, and you bring it up top, and you tank it there for a bit. The thing is, like, he's really slow. So while he's running back and forth, it gives a chance for your ranged to maybe do some damage from a range, and the tank just runs and the healer keeps him alive. Meanwhile, the melee DPS and the off tank are dealing with these crypt guards that spawn. There should be like one crypt guard that spawns every so often. Hopefully the crypt guards aren't so easy to kill that the melee have nothing to do like during this part, because you want the melee to be doing something and the range to be doing something, even if they're like different tasks. So that's basically Anuba Khan. What else does he do? So the Crypt Guards is basically just him starting with the 2 Crypt Guards. That's all that ability says. And Corpse Explosion is basically whenever a Crypt Guard dies, 10 of these little Corpse Scarabs will spawn. Right? That sounds like a lot, but they're mobs, so they're really easy to kill. But having 10 attacks, like action economy-wise, that's 20 from both Crypt Guards dying. That's 20 of these little Corpse Scarabs. And the party having like 20 Corpse Scarabs focus on like one guy might actually kill them. Or if they're all focusing on the tank, might actually kill them too. In fact, if you have these at hate multiplier, like times 4, like that'll guaranteed kill like whatever tank is on them. Let's see here. The players, if a player dies, right, then that spawns 5 Corpse Scarabs. So if your players aren't using like health potions to keep themselves up at the same time as like healers trying to keep them all up, then it could very quickly just wipe everybody. But they are mobs, so you can use abilities like Death Cloud to kill them very easily. Let me see here. Where is he? Is he here? Never mind. I was going to show off Death Cloud, but I don't have the sorcerer in my party right now, or like available on hand. So I was just going to take up time looking for him. All right, so the Crypt Guards. Crypt Guards are different. So the Crypt Guards have a cleave, right? And the cleave targets area P, right? Area pick. And you could house rule this in a bit if you wanted to make it so that way like whoever is in front, right? Designate a front and a back. However you want to do this, designate a front and a back, and whoever's in front will get a cleave. Or you could do it like currently how it looks, where it's just like, oh, the tank is in the square with it, and the DPS are slightly outside the square, but close to it. You could house rule it those 2 ways. Otherwise, the melee DPS will have to be eating cleaves with the tank in the same square as it, because the rules say anything that has a close range to hit, you have to be in the square with them. That's the noobs. There we are, Crypt Guards. So anyway, it's 2d6 plus 7 versus their evasion. It does less damage than the other guy's main attack. It's only 160 plus 2d6. That's still a lot. So if you look at hers again, like that negates like 37 of 160. So that's still probably going to one-shot a DPS. So you definitely don't want, as a DPS, to pull aggro on these. You definitely watch yourselves, because you could just die from the cleave itself. Also, when it hits, it's going to apply a stacking decay, just like how the boss does with its Locust stuff. 26 is the decay rating, and it will stack upon like each hit. So every round that these stay alive, they're going to apply another decay. That sounds bad, but it's not, because the decays are really easy to remove. Especially if you have like a druid in your party that on cleanup can remove decays on multiple people, or remove debuffs and stuff. Honestly, the fight's probably not that hard. Probably could buff it a lot. So the web happens on cleanup. You could also make this not apply to the first cleanup of the round if you wanted to. It targets wide 2. This uses the Manhattan style, so this is 2 squares, because you have to go 1, 2. You can't just go like diagonal as a 1. So Manhattan, you have to go like that. So it targets everything within 2 squares, right? With the web. So what that does is it's going to apply rigor to all the targets within range, and then also subtract hate from whoever's hate top, making them probably drop aggro. It's -4 hate. Most tanking abilities usually generate 2 to 3 rage, so dropping -4 off the top will usually make them just drop aggro and go after whoever's next. The Crypt Guards also have a special ability where they always target whoever's second highest on hate, right? So that's the way that these basically they're not going to run after the main tank. They will stay on whoever's second highest, right? So you're going to have 2 tanks for this fight. You're going to have the main tank a noob up there, and you're going to have the off tank take both of these at the same time, right? And you need to make sure that he or she can maintain aggro on both of these at the same time, while the DPS kill them both, right? And you have to keep in mind they're both going to web at the same time, right? So that's going to be like a lot of minus hate to that tank. So they need to make sure that they have abilities ready to like reestablish threat, like stand out, or any of the initiative hate gainers, and any of the taunting mechanics that the players have at their disposal. Definitely make sure to have that ready to use. Because as soon as they hit that on cleanup, the next round they're going to go after whoever's second on the hate list, which could be a healer, could be a DPS, and they're just going to go like 1, 2 and just start smacking people. They could even dash, right? Because they can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and then get really deep in there and just like fucking messing people up. So they can do a lot of things and just mess your people up. So stopping them from running away, big deal, stuff like that. You could also buff these and make it so that way they can't be slowed or stunned, because assassins and stuff have an ability to stop people from moving out of their square. A lot of tanks have that same mechanic too, but it's up to you on how you want to do the fight exactly. This is just something I threw together for like some funsies one afternoon. And I've only play tested it once with a group of 10, which it was really fun, but lots of house rules and on the fly stuff, just like for fun. So the Corpse Scarabs that spawn times 10, their melee attack only does 40 plus 2d6 and has the same amount of chance to miss as the other thing, 7 plus 2d6. Does physical damage. But yeah, that's basically the little fight in boss arena. The only other thing to really mention is that there are some props and gimmicks here, right? So this little moat around the edges, if you step in that, basically it's going to lower your health to about basically it's going to give you like fatigue of like 70% of your max health basically. So, and then when you step out of it, your max health will go back to full. So like when you're in the goo, you have a fatigue rating of basically 70% of whatever your max health would be. And then when you step out of it, the fatigue goes away, right? So it's only applied while you're standing in the goo. So if anybody like wants to stand in the goo, they can. But once the fatigue goes away, you know, you're still missing all that health. It's just your max health is able to be healed up that full. So you still don't want to stand in any of this goo on the outer edge. That's on both sides. So it's still part of the arena basically. And I only did this one fight. I didn't do like the entire dungeon, but I don't know. I might do that. It kind of sounds like a fun thing to just recreate all of Naxxramas in Log Horizon. Let me know what you think. I'm going to link my Discord that I use for D&D stuff in the description, as well as the game itself, all my spreadsheets and stuff. I'm also thinking about making a video on how to make your own custom enemies like this. Just let me know what you guys are interested in seeing. I'm still thinking about which class I kind of want to do a video on next. Might do a healer, because I have videos on a caster DPS, a physical DPS, and a tank already. When the character creation, I have one on a tank. So I might do a healer video next. But anyway, thanks for watching. Peace out.